Incheon, South Korea. What would you do if you suddenly saw a world superstar who usually always appears tough, suddenly unable to hold back tears in front of thousands of fans? It is this question that now fills the minds of millions of soldiers after the shocking incident at Incheon International Airport, where the atmosphere changed drastically from just a boisterous welcome to a moment full of emotion when KimTaehyung, better known as V of BTS, was seen crying after being surprised by Jimin and Jungkook. Is crying a sign of fatigue, happiness, or a secret that has been kept? Those tense moments happened so fast. The fans who had been waiting patiently in the arrival area since morning did not expect that the moment would become one of the most emotional events in the history of BTS's performance at the airport. Usually, the moment of idols' arrival at the airport is just routine: a smile, a wave of the hand, a few quick portraits, and the members immediately get into the vehicle. However, this time the atmosphere changed completely when Jimin and Jungkook seemed to do something unusual. With quick steps, the two approached Taehyung, then without hesitation hugged him in public. The hug seemed simple, but beneath it lay a profound story that left the airport suddenly silent before it was finally broken by the hysterical cries of fans. The reporters' cameras spun in all directions. The flashes of light did not stop, and in the midst of the hustle and bustle, Taehyung was seen looking down, his shoulders shaking, his eyes glazed, until finally tears fell. Even the fans who watched it couldn't believe it. Taehyung is crying? At the airport? In front of everyone? The question resonated on social media timelines within seconds. This moment shook emotions even more because Taehyung is known as one of the BTS members who often displays a tough side, even though his heart is soft. He rarely shows tears in public spaces except in concerts or events that are really touching. What exactly did Jimin and Jungkook do to break through Taehyung's wall of stubbornness? Some speculate that the hug is a form of emotional support after a busy and tiring schedule. There are also those who suspect that behind their smiles all this time, there is a feeling of longing, a sense of brotherhood, and a deep attachment that cannot be hidden. Not a few fans also believe that Jimin and Jungkook have planned this airport surprise to encourage Taehyung. Social media immediately exploded. Hashtags such as #TaehyungCrying, #Jimin and Jungkook, to #Incheon Airport Moment became trending in various countries in just a few hours. Amateur videos of fans who managed to record Taehyung's crying are widespread on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Every frame is analyzed, every expression is dissected. Some noticed the way Jungkook gently patted Taehyung on the back. Others focused on Jimin's expression, which was seen holding back tears while hugging his best friend. Questions arise. Why did the moment happen at the airport, a place so open and full of highlights? Is there a message to be conveyed? Or is it the pure spontaneity of a friendship that has existed for more than a decade? A fan who witnessed live admitted that he still had goosebumps when he retold the incident. At first, we just waited as usual, but suddenly Jimin ran a little towards Taehyung, followed by Jungkook. It's like they want to give you something different. When Taehyung started crying, I cried too. It was like seeing a very real family bond in front of your eyes, she said in a trembling voice. Not only fans, some Korean entertainment media also immediately raised this event in their headlines. Some have highlighted the emotional side of BTS relationships. Others have attributed it to the tremendous pressure they have had to face as a global group. Some K-pop analysts say Taehyung's crying is a reflection of how strong their bond of friendship is, which cannot be replaced despite busy schedules, distance, and the world's spotlight. This dramatic atmosphere is further reinforced by the way Taehyung tries to calm himself down after the moment. He had time to wipe his face, sighed deeply, then smiled back at the fans even though it was clear that his eyes were still red. Jimin and Jungkook stayed by her side, as if they didn't want to let their best friend deal with those emotions alone. The scene seemed to confirm that brotherhood among BTS members is not just a slogan, but real, alive, and full of sincerity. Now, what's left is a big question mark still hanging in the air. Is Taehyung's crying just a momentary outburst of emotion, or is there a deeper story yet to unfold? Is there a hidden message that Jimin and Jungkook are trying to convey through that hug? And more importantly, what does this moment mean for the future of BTS? Both as a group and individually, one thing is certain: This incident at Incheon Airport will be remembered as one of the most emotional moments in BTS's journey. A moment that left the world speechless, made fans cry together, and made us all wonder again about the human side of the stars who had been looking perfect on stage. What would happen if a simple moment turned into a wave of emotions that swept millions of people around the world? That's what happened after Incheon Airport suddenly witnessed an unforgettable scene. Jimin and Jungkook suddenly hugged Taehyung and made him cry in front of thousands of pairs of eyes. The reaction of the fans could not be muffled. They screamed, they cried, they captured every second with the cameras of mobile phones shaking because the owner's own hands were filled with adrenaline. But the most incredible thing is that the echoes of this incident did not stop at the airport alone, but spread throughout the world via social media in a matter of seconds. However, behind all that, wild questions also arise. Was the moment really spontaneous, or was it planned in advance as a surprise? Are Jimin and Jungkook deliberately waiting for the right moment to publicly show their support? Or is there actually a deeper story, something they never tell openly? Incheon Airport is no longer just an international gateway. In the memory of millions of ARMY, the place has turned into a witness of an emotional shock that shook the world. And the reaction born of that event proves one important thing. The love between BTS and ARMY not only survives on stage, but also lives on in every second of their lives, even in the simplest of spaces. The hug that took place at Incheon Airport was inseparable from that long journey. Imagine a Taehyung who is often described as cheerful and full of energy, suddenly crying in front of the public. It wasn't just a cry. It is a symbol of honesty, relief, as well as recognition that behind all the smiles he gives, there is fatigue, longing, and need to be hugged. And the most heartwarming, the hug came from two figures who have always been his closest supporters, Jimin and Jungkook. Jimin is known as a sensitive and empathetic member. He is often the person who most quickly captures the feelings of his friends. Fans were not surprised that he was the first to reach Taehyung at the airport, as if he knew that his best friend needed a backrest at that moment. Jimin's facial expression couldn't be hidden, his eyes glazed over, his lips quivering, as if he was also holding back tears when he saw Taehyung fragile. On the other hand, Jungkook appears as a protective figure. Although she is the magne, on many occasions she shows strong affection towards her Hyung. As the embrace takes place, Jungkook is seen patting Taehyung on the back with a gentle rhythm, a simple gesture that for many can mean, "I'm here. Don't be afraid. You're not alone." This moment reminded fans of their interactions in the past, from Jungkook accompanying Taehyung when he was sick, to the way he always responded when Taehyung didn't seem well. Does this mean there is a bigger story behind the airport moment? No one knows for sure. But ARMY believes that Taehyung's crying is a sign that their bond is unshakable by time, busyness, or even distance. There is something deeper than just co-worker relationships, they are family. And Jimin and Jungkook's embrace is not a show, but rather a reflection of a real brotherhood, and therein lies the biggest surprise. No one expected that an airport could witness the birth of one of the most precious moments in BTS's journey. No one expected that Taehyung would cry, and no one expected that Jimin and Jungkook would make it as an emotional turning point. The question continues to resonate. Will this moment be the beginning of a new openness for BTS members to their feelings? Or is it just a memory that they will keep as proof of true brotherhood? One thing is clear. In an instant, the world saw another side of this trio, a side full of tenderness, honesty, and love. And that is what makes this moment not just news, but a story that will be remembered forever by millions of people around the world.